Can you grow if you hide? That means if you have some idea and you are not expressing it anywhere, where does it go? You are not doing anything about it at all, or are you doing? So, if you are doing, then how I did was like I posted one day my idea. Actually, I broadcast that idea to a small segment of people who were non judgmental. And they believed it. That is how the idea flowed from then on. And it has grown bigger. It's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Can you believe that? Okay, try doing that. Of course, the people that you will be sharing should be the people who are like minded. And even if you are scared, you just express. Because it is your idea, nobody has anything to do with your idea. And when it is very, very new, maybe not a lot of people will understand that, and that's fine. When something is new, you don't understand it completely, but eventually people will get to know, get to understand. So please be open to that.
Cage. Does any of this sound familiar? You've got this awesome idea, but you just keep it tucked away. Or an opportunity comes up and you kind of shrink back and let someone else take the lead. You're playing small. But here's the thing, these aren't just actions, they're clues. They're symptoms that you're hiding something important about yourself from the world. And this right here, this just hits the nail on the head. We tend to think of fear as this big, scary monster that's out to get us. But what if it's not? What if fear is really just a limit we put on ourselves? It's not a wall someone else built. It's a line we draw and then decide we can't cross. Okay, so if fear cage, does any of this sound familiar? You've got this awesome idea, but you just keep it tucked away. Or an opportunity comes up and you kind of shrink back and let someone else take the lead. You're playing small. But here's the thing, these aren't just actions, they're clues. They're symptoms that you're hiding something important about yourself from the world. And this right here, this just hits the nail on the head. We tend to think of fear as this big, scary monster that's out to get us. But what if it's not? What if fear is really just a limit we put on ourselves? It's not a wall someone else built. It's a line we draw and then decide we can't cross. Okay, so if fear is a limit we set for ourselves, well, all right, let's talk about something that, let's be honest, gets to all of us. The fear of really putting ourselves out there. Today, we're diving into what it takes, the actual courage it takes to be truly seen. Just let that question hang in the air for a second. Does that hit home for you? That little pause, that knot in your stomach right before you share something you made or speak up with an idea? It's a really powerful feeling, and you're not alone in this, not by a long shot. So first things first, let's actually
What if a small idea also create a big impact? That is how all dreams start. Do you agree with me? So, what did I start with? I started with plastic bottles. And nowadays, everybody, many of them are doing the plastic repurposing. In the internet space, you will be seeing their videos, how they have done, and they are doing beautiful things. But can you do on daily basis all that by yourself? And you will be saying yourself that you can't do. You don't have that that much time to paint and all that. But how does it matter? What matters is the plant, right? And plant has its own structure, has its own colors, and has its own aura. So allow the plants to grow beyond your painting, your ideas. Let them be, and you will see that that will be a piece of creation as well. Very small idea, very less effort at your end, but if you have 20 such varieties of plastic bottles repurposed as per whatever coming into your mind, as per the time that you have, whatever time you have, that will create a lot in those planters, and it will do a great thing to your garden area, at least to your garden area. And when you share about it to the world, then it becomes a global idea as well. See the idea.
Fear is a limit we set for ourselves. Well, that's actually great news because it means we also have the power to question it, to challenge it, and maybe, just maybe, to erase that line completely. This is the big one, isn't it? This is the fuel for so much of our fear. What will they think? But let's really ask ourselves this, seriously. In the grand scheme of your life, your dreams, your potential, why does someone else's opinion get to have so much control over what you do? So here's what it boils down to. Every single day, you're making a choice. Just look at these two columns. On the left, that's the path of fear. And on the right, that's the path of growth. So be honest with yourself for a second. Which side are you living on most days? Are you choosing fear over your own growth? All right, let's pick up the pace a bit. Let's start poking some holes in this whole fear thing. What if it's just a story, a narrative you've told yourself so many times that you've started to believe it's real? I mean, think about it. It doesn't even make sense, right? Fear makes us quit the race before the starting gun even goes off. It convinces us we're going to fail before we've even taken a single step. Why do we let it do that? And this is the real gut check. Can this feeling, this story, this self-imposed line in the sand, can it actually stop you from becoming who you're meant to be? Or are we just giving it way, way too much credit? Okay, so we put a name to the fear.
When a child is trying to do something, we kind of are worried about the mess that might create, and we prevent him from doing that. So as an adult, I would ask you, if you don't try, then how do you grow? If that is an adult question, why and how, and why at all we should stop a child from doing something, trying something, and figuring out something? It might be a mess, irrespective of whether a child does it or an adult does it. When you are trying to do something new, it will be a mess to other people, mess for you too. But if you try something, even if it doesn't succeed, it gives you that confidence to try again with less mess and more success. Not the eventual success, maybe, or maybe so. How does it matter? So keep trying and keep giving yourself space to grow more and more. It will feel amazing. Amazing. Yes.
We've questioned its power. Now for the most important part. What do we actually do about it? Well, the answer is so much simpler and a lot easier to reach than you probably think. The solution isn't some giant leap of faith. It's not about waking up tomorrow and suddenly being fearless. Nope. The answer is just this. 1. Let's completely redefine what courage means. It's not about having zero fear. It's not some special trait you're either born with or you're not. What if courage is simply the decision to take one small step forward, even when you're terrified? And this is the playbook. It's beautifully simple. You don't ignore the fear. You don't pretend it's not there. Step 1 is feel it, acknowledge it. Hey, fear, I see you. But then comes step 2, and this is everything. You try anyway. You can absolutely grow while you are feeling scared. So if you take one thing away, let it be this. Action is the antidote. Not overthinking it, not planning it to death, not waiting for the perfect moment. One small, real-world action is how you beat fear. And you don't need to wait. You can start today.
When I was once scared, and maybe all of you might be scared about showing your own great thing, a tiny thing, great thing, and whatever you think. People will not appreciate. People don't appreciate because they are not in your wavelength, right at that moment, but they will develop their wavelength and their mindset to your wavelength eventually, because you are making impact to yourself. You are feeling great, you are feeling confident to yourself, and that matters. When they see confident and very happy within yourself, despite the appreciation you get or don't get, then people will start to take notice, and those things are like game changer for everybody, for you, for them. You don't bother about people who are around, who should take notice. People may not take notice at all, it doesn't matter, but the ripple effect that you create with that, it starts with the ripple effect and the impact that you create in yourself. That is how it spreads to the entire world, to the people nearby or the people in the global area. It starts with there, and your identity is, you are an innovative person in and out all the way, and that is your identity. That becomes your identity.
And that brings us right here to the end. And this is a direct message for you. Because all these ideas, all these questions, they all lead up to this single powerful moment where you get to decide. This might just be the biggest trap of all. We tell ourselves, oh, I'll do that thing when I feel more ready, or I'll share my work when I'm more confident. But guess what? Perfect confidence is a myth. It's a mirage. It's never going to show up. Waiting for it is just a fancy way of hiding. And so let's just end with this. We spend so much time and energy worrying about what will happen if we fail. What if we just flipped that question on its head? Forget about failure for a minute. Just ask yourself this: what will happen if you try? The answer to that question, that's where everything begins.
So, are you interested to know as to how to start growing? There is a simple way to grow, which I have found out, and thousands of people have found out, and also is less taxing, less stressful for anybody who is watching this. You start a small task, very small, one habit, one day, one action, slowly, and at your pace. Slowly, life becomes better. Do small, repeat. That is the most essential thing. Repeating means consistency. It is the way to build bigger. How do you build bigger? Because if you start doing today, start doing tomorrow, third day, fourth day, and it builds, it compiles, it consolidates, and eventually it looks humongous. And that is the way to grow. So, are you interested in all these ideas? One idea? So, if you are interested, I am Sangeeta, I am a significance coach. I help empower people to achieve their significance and eventually a legacy. What we are doing is like releasing, or say doing for our next generation. We owe them this planet. So we need to do something so that it is a better place for our next generation. So that is what we are doing while living our own life as well. We are living away from guilt. So if you are interested, we are doing Sunday deliberations at 3:30 p.m. and it might be a one-to-one session, or it might be a group deliberation, and we will discuss all this, and any one question or multiple question, we will take your question and try to see a roadmap. Do please join us on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. It's completely free. for that session. So see you there.